Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. Today I'm going to take a look at my newest moped project, the Velo Solex 5000 that I got. I got this moped in a trade on my Peugeot 106 Rallye. And yes, I did get some money as well. But anyway, this moped seems to be in pretty good condition actually. And it seems, I think that the guy that I got it from, did not take it apart. He just received it like this. And I think the previous owner's plan was to take it apart and remove all the paint and repaint it and rebuild everything. I can understand that, but that's not really the way I roll. And also this is in pretty good condition as is. Of course, there is some rust spots, but I don't really care. I'm going to fix this up so it can be used in the rain, in bad weathers, and all that for my little moped gang. And this is a perfect moped to lend to someone who would like to join the club and just wants to try it without buying a moped himself. So that's the plan for this. So hopefully all the parts are there and I'm going to put them all on the bike. The engine is down here. It seems to be pretty good, but I don't know for sure. There's compression at least. Maybe I will have to take it apart to fix something. Maybe we can just put it all back together and it will be fine. I just don't know. But let's get to work. And I have put out all the parts that I have for it on the table. And it seems to be pretty complete, but you never know until you really get started if something is missing. And I even found some duplicates because this one is already on the bike. So maybe there's more parts than I need to have, but hopefully there's the parts that I need to just make it run. And also this was a part of the box of parts. That's really helpful because this just shows me where all the bolts and nuts and stuff goes pretty much, until here at least. And I got another joker up my sleeve if everything fails. I do have a Velo 5000 completely assembled in the basement at the moment. So if something is not making sense, then I can take that out and look how it is assembled on that one. So what we are going to do is pretty much to take one part and go to the moped and then, oh, this is an easy one. I think it's going to fit right about there. Maybe it needs some bolts to stay in place, but that's not a one-hand job. Let's get to work on that. And I got to say that projects like this is just one of the best ways to pass time, because yeah, it's pretty much just a game of Lego for adults, pretty much. Just need to find out where everything goes and then put it back together. That's a lot of fun. I think this is just as good as antidepressants, or okay, maybe not, but this is a great way to be together with your own thoughts, at least right up until you find something that is just difficult or weird. Remember, this is a French moped and there are some stuff on the Velo that is a bit tricky to get right if you don't know how it is supposed to go back together at least. And yes, this is a Danish sold moped from New. That's pretty nice. This one was cracked, so I have just had a go at gluing it. I'm not sure it will hold for very long, but we'll see. That's where that is supposed to go, and then this needs some kind of metal part to keep it in place up here. This could look like the right one maybe. It seems as though a lot of the nuts has been changed for new nuts, but they are not the same thread as the Velo Solex ones. So, but I think in my other stash of parts that I could be lucky to find a lot of those. Yeah, like that. And I'm not sure, but this seems to be something that could attach to that. And then hold the glass in place. No, I don't think so. Well, it is time to go into the basement. And excuse me for all the mess. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff down here. And a lot of mopeds. Oh, and a... what's that called? A scooter. Could be fun to put a Velo engine on this one at one point. Not today though. The Velo 5000 is right over there. Let's take a look at the assembly thingy. Oh, so it seems to be from the underneath then. Could maybe be this one. I should have put that in before taking that plastic thingy on. And I really don't want to take it off again because I think I will crack that thing that I have just glued. Woo! Yeah, that seems to be the right way to do it. And then I just need a nut to secure it. And I will do that off camera real quick because that's not a one-hand job. So it's on. And the lenses or the plastic is held by that little thing I found. I couldn't find the right hardware for it, so maybe that turns up later on. But for now it's good. Next up, actually we are finished with the rear. I don't know if the brakes and so on is working, but we'll find out, and it seems to be pretty nice actually. And everything is tight and all good. So next up, we're going to take a look at the front of the bike and get the forks back on it so we can attach the engine and the front wheel. As you can see, once again the paint has flaked off, and yeah, I can understand why someone would want to repaint it, but no, I'm not there yet, at least. Once again, if you take stuff apart like this, it's a very good idea to take a lot of small bags and put nuts and hardware and all that into the bags and write on the bags where they are supposed to go, because it can be quite difficult to find the right stuff for the right place when you don't know where. Of course, I have the possibility to look at my other mopeds, but other than that, it's difficult. In this case, it was pretty easy to find out that this hardware nut was the right one, or bolt, because there's paint on it, so it's supposed to be here. And that also tells me if it's supposed to go this way or this way. So that's pretty nice, but it makes it a lot easier for yourself to just back everything up. And also makes it a lot easier for if you give up along the way. And in here are square nuts that is held in place by the frame itself. I just need to get it all the way up there. My finger is too thick. It's just me talking dirty to a Velo. Or Velo Solex. I should actually stop just calling it a Velo, but in Denmark we call it a Velo because that's, yeah, we just call them that. But Velo is not a moped per se, because Velo is just the French name of bike. So this is a bike Solex, and Solex is the company that makes many different parts and stuff, but for many of you guys would most likely know the carburetor, the Solex carburetor. But they make this helping engine that they put on the frame of this bike, so it became a Velo Solex. And this is of course a Velo Solex 5000, and you can know them by the quite small wheels and the light on the handlebar. And 5000 is written on the engine, and also the mechanism to put the engine down on the wheel is different from the 3800 and other bikes. You can actually get the 5000 with regular size wheels also. And there is also the Swedish version of the Velo 3800, which is actually called 4600. That looks a bit like the 5000, only with big wheels, because I think there was something with the regulations of Swedish mopeds that the light could not be so low as it is on the 3800. It needed to be higher and up on the handlebar, I think. Don't quote me on that, unless it's right. Like that. So I had to take a small break. So it's now nighttime outside, and I will continue working on the Velo. But I got slightly distracted because I got the possibility to buy another project car. So I just had to go look at that and buy it, actually. So, well, more on that later, not today. Let's get back to work on this. The next step is to fit the brakes. And the brakes is a bit weird. And the brake setup is a little bit weird. And firstly, we need to fit this. The brakes are attached to this bolt, which also holds the fender, in a lack of a better word, and the cover for the braking mechanism. So first thing is to take that apart. This is just one of those small French engineered funny methods that I really enjoy on the Velo. So this I can put on the inside of the frame, and then put it on like this. And with the number 12, I can, no. Oh, it's gone. It's over here. I can tighten it. And then, of course, just the same on the other side. And then we take the fender and the brake mechanism, fit the brake mechanism over the bracket on the fender. So it goes like this. And then fit it onto the bolt or that we just put on the frame. And because it got a ledge on the bolt and also on the other one, it will be able to pivot. It will be able to pivot in this hole. So it is a bit weird, but also quite clever, I think. But maybe clever in the unnecessary clever way, because this could have been, you could have made this in such a more, in a way, simpler fashion. And this is just, yeah, it's just slightly complicated without having the need to be. But I think that's just the French way of designing things, which is very addictive, in my opinion. And it's very important to get it to rest inside that ledge and not pinch it, because if you pinch it, then the brakes will become stuck and won't work, of course. So when you have tightened it up, you can just see if it still moves, and it does, then it's fine. And then the next thing to do is to take the cable for the brake. And on some Velos, this braking cable actually goes through the carb system right there. So when you brake, you also decrease the throttle, but not on this one. This one is just for the brake, at least. I take the cable and thread it through the hole, and then put it into the hole in this mechanism to lock the wire. And then this actually, if you push it in, then you can turn it and adjust and tighten up the braking system. But I won't tighten it up any more than this, because if I do, I can't fit the wheel. So this one goes like this and like this into the rear. And these small bars that supports the fender is actually held together with this mud guard also. So you put that one in there, and then this one. And yes, I think I'm actually gonna fit the engine before fitting the wheel, because that will make it a bit easier also. Also because these are actually held together with the pivoting plate on the engine. And then it's just these nuts with a flange on it that fits into these notches. And then it's very important to get this locking system put on and locked, because otherwise you can actually make the engine fall off the bike. It can be a little bit annoying, especially when going fast. The next bit is a little bit difficult, because I need to put this one down here because I need to hold the bolt back here still while I tighten the nut on the outside. And I haven't really found anything that fits down there very well yet. But this is working. That's about it. And then the engine should of course still be able to pivot. Oh, I need to put some nuts in there first. Like this, and then the other side. On the 5000, you don't have this lever on top of the engine to lever it down onto the tire. You actually have a lever at the side that you push onto the engine to lower it down. Wire this and this. And this is the lever for that. And I suspect that this just goes through. Not like that, at least. I'm actually a bit unsure. Maybe I can take this off. But like this. I think that's possible. Now I just need to figure out how to get it underneath that one. Maybe I should have. Maybe like this. And then all the way back. Like this. And then this one back on. This means that the engine can now be tilted forwards using this and backwards again. Like this, back, and onto the tire. And then we can fit the tire like this. It's beginning to look a lot like a moped. That's nice. So the next thing I'm going to fit is the carb and fuel delivery and all that goes onto there. It's a good idea to check the inlet and the exhaust port to make sure that it's not clogged, and it looks fine. It looks very clean. I have no idea about the health of this engine, but so far everything seems very clean and nice. So I'm hopeful. Also, this is an important area to look for and clean for carbon deposit, because that will lower the performance a lot on a Velo. And this is one of the slightly fiddly things on Velos, because there's not a lot of room to work on. Oops. And then let's go to the front of the bike. Here we have the fuel inlet for the carb. Fuel from the tank goes into this, and then the pump pumps the fuel out through this. So it's delivering fuel constantly to the carb, and there is no float or needle valve or anything like that. So it just overflows back into the tank all the time. So the pump is very important on a Velo Solex, and it's almost always the cause of problems when they don't work, in my opinion. The diaphragm that pumps with the crankcase pressure gets brittle and torn after time, and then it won't work. all the glass balls get gummed up. That is also a very common thing. Oh, the last pieces of the puzzle, at least on the frame, is slowly coming together. Oh yeah, just makes it look like a very exclusive item, a bit of chrome. Don't you think? So, yes, here we go. The frame is pretty much together now. I still need some small parts, but they are not really frame related, but I need to fit the exhaust and I need to fit the fuel tank and the covers and all that for the engine. But that will be in the next video, because the next video will be about the engine on the Velo Solex, and we're going to see if we can make it run. I really hope we can. If not, then maybe we'll have to take it apart and off again. We'll see about that, but I think we're gonna make this engine run. But the fuel tank is full of crap, so I'm going to let that soak overnight and then continue working on the engine side of this moped in the next video. If you like stuff about two-strokes engine, let me give you a tip. The other day I found the YouTube channel called Two-Stroke Stuffing. This is a very interesting, if you are into two-stroke engine and very nerdy stuff. The guy has built a dyno for two-stroke engines and it's making some very interesting projects, and I really enjoy watching his videos, so I would advise to go and check his channel out if you like two strokes. Anyway, thank you for watching and see you in the next one where we're gonna make this engine work, I hope.